All good. And you?
Fine too, thank you very much. Only that I came to my mom's place again because
Yeah.
her pressure is still not right. It's going up and down. But now
Mm-hmm.
she has a nurse here supporting her, so yeah, it's all right. That's
Perfect,
good.
teacher.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mickey. Well, continuing on the simple, advanced, and more advanced tests that we were doing yesterday, Mickey,
Mm-hmm.
let's see if we can complete this activity by doing an intermediate test, which I think is not so intermediate, it's a little bit more advanced, but I think it's going to show us. Okay, give me a second. Give me a
Yeah,
second, Mickey,
teacher.
please, really
Yeah,
quick.
don't
I need
worry.
to
No
open the
worry.
door to someone really quick, please. It was the nurse that was ringing the bell, but I tell him to give her the key or something. But well,
Yes, teacher. Don't worry.
okay. So we were talking about the questionnaire that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and this questionnaire has interesting questions. I thought it was going to be more basic, but it looks challenging. It doesn't look so extremely easy. So let's take a look at this, please.
Yeah.
So let's read the options, please, and then
Mm-hmm.
let's see what you think.
Choose the correct sentence. Neither of the girls is coming to the party. Neither of the girls are coming to the party. Neither of the girls am coming to the party. Neither of the girls be coming to the party. Uh, letter B.
It's actually A, and what's the difference between A and B? Neither refers to an individual as one
Mm,
person. For example, in Spanish, how do you say ninguna viene or ninguna vienen?
yeah, that's true.
Right. So
Yeah, ninguno
it's
viene.
ninguna viene should be singular exactly. So that's exactly right. So let's do number two, please.
Yeah. Identify the sentence with the correct use of the reporter speech. She said, I'm going to the concert. She says,
Yeah.
I'm going to the concert. She said that she's going to the concert. She says that she was going to the concert. Mm, letter C?
Letter C. She says that she's going to the concert. Yeah. Very good, Mickey. Okay, let's do number three, please.
Yeah. Select the sentence with the appropriate conditional form. If I will see him, I'll tell him. If I see him, I'll tell him. If I will see him, I'll tell him. If I saw him, I tell him. Letter B?
Letter B. Very good. Excellent. Good job. Well, now let's go to question number four, please.
Yeah, choose the correct preposition. He's allergic on cats, with cats, at cats, to cats. On cats?
She's allergic to
On?
cats.
To
Two
cats?
cats. Two cats. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, she's allergic to cats.
Okay.
Well, let's do number five, Mickey, please.
Yeah, identify the sentence with the correct use of the past perfect continuous tense. They have played tennis for hours. They had been playing tennis for hours. They have been playing tennis for hours. They were playing tennis for hours. Mm, letter B?
They had been okay. They had been and they have been. They are both correct. Let me
Okay.
just say past perfect. Past perfect continuous. Um, no, you're right. B. They had been. Yeah, because this is the present continuous, present perfect continuous, but it is asking for the past perfect. No,
Mm-hmm.
so you're right. B is B, Mickey. Thank you. All right, let's do number six, please.
Yeah. Which sentence is grammatically incorrect? I'm not used to getting up early. She's afraid of spiders. He insisted on to pay for the meal. We are looking forward to meeting you. Um. Uh. Letter B.
Be afraid of spiders. No, this is right. This is correct. She's afraid of spiders is right.
Mm, mm, I'm not used to getting up early.
This is also correct. The thing is that after normally after a preposition you do the gerund, which is what is supposed to happen here. In the third one, he insisted
Mm,
on paying. On paying would be correct,
it is under paying.
but
Okay.
it doesn't have it. So this is the one that needs to be fixed. Let's do some examples. For example, some people insist on something, right? For
Mm-hmm.
example, my mom insisted on hiring a nurse. She insisted on, you can say
Mm-hmm.
hiring, not to hire, right? Hire is wrong. So
Yeah.
she insisted
Yeah, that's
on
true.
hiring a nurse. What else would you insist on? Or you would not insist on? I would not insist on what? Let's say I would not insist on, and then a verb in gerund, Mickey. What would that be?
I would not insist on working out every day because the body requires a rest,
Okay, the body requires some rest.
some
Right,
rest. Yeah.
some rest. Yeah, very good, excellent. And now, what would you, on the contrary, what would you require, or somebody would require to do? What would you require, or anyone would require?
Mm,
Or insist, I'm sorry, not require, insist. What would you insist on?
I would insist on having a balanced diet.
That's a perfect example, Nikki. Very good. So you're doing this right. I would insist on having, I would not insist on, right, but there are other things. Perfect. Well, that's the only correction that we need to make. And very
Yeah.
simple. Let's go to number seven, please.
Yeah, choose the correct form of the verb. The sun set as we reached the top of the hill. The sun. Mm, are three options or are more than three options? Okay, teacher. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm here in the cell phone and it is difficult to see.
Okay, okay. Let me. You know what? I need to go full screen here, but there.
Oh, okay, teacher. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, there is a
Yeah,
feature that can allow you to show the whole screen.
yeah, perfect, teacher. Thank you. The sun set as we reached the top of the hill. The sun was set as we reached the top of the hill. The sun has set as we reached the top of the hill. The sun had set as we reached the top of the hill. Mm, letter C?
Has said. Well, C or D may look correct, but this is past tense.
Hat?
Had, yeah, exactly. Very good, Mickey. Had said. Uh, so, for example, what is the opposite of set? The sun sets. Okay, what time does the sun set, Mickey? Normally, this season,
The sunset? Probably. Mm,
7, 8, 8:30. No, 8:30 is not the time.
7, probably?
At 7 p.m. during this season, right?
Yeah.
And what time does the sun? What is the opposite of set?
Uh,
Begins with R.
the sun's rise?
Rises. Very good.
Rises?
And what time? I think earlier.
Probably 6:30, probably?
6:30. Yeah, 6:30. Yeah, 6:30 during this season. The sun rises and the sun sets. Uh, Very good. Now this is set. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Mickey.
Yeah.
Now let's do number 8, please.
Identify the sentence with the correct use of the relative pronoun whom. The person who I was talking to is my boss. The person whom I was talking to is my boss. The person that I was talking to is my boss. My boss. The person who is I was talking to is my boss.
Right.
Mm,
So which is the right answer?
person that I was talking to is my voice. Mm, letter C?
Letter C. Well, letter C is correct. There is another one which is correct. The only thing with letter C is that this does not include the word who, and we
Uh,
we, we need to. But grammatically is correct, but it does not comply with the requirement that says which is connected with the word whom in a dative case or accusative case or nominative case. So the only one which is similar is, well, this has a particle who, which is uh, one. This has a particle who, which is whom, and this is a particle who. So of these three that have the word who, in which case the word whom is correctly used with who, whom, or who.
the first one?
The first one, the person who I was talking to, well, the perfect is letter B. And is you are giving someone to something, to someone, right? Whom you are giving a speech, you are talking to that person. For example,
Mm,
you use that in the dative case. Let's do some examples. To whom, for example, how do you say when you start a letter, a very serious letter, let's say a commerce letter, and you say a quien corresponda? How do you
mhm.
write it? To who or to whom it may concern?
To whom?
Exactly, exactly. To whom it may concern, a quien corresponda. Very good. Concern. Wow, why does not? To whom it may concern. Concern. Oh, I'm sorry. Concern. There. Okay. A quien corresponda. To whom it may concern. How do you say in English? ¿A quién le llevas esas flores?
Mm, uh, to whom are you taking those flowers? Could be.
Yes, perfect. Are you taking those flowers? And there is a second way to do it, which is also common in English, which is to pass the preposition to the end, right? To the end, you can also pass the preposition to. So, whom are you taking those flowers to?
Mm-hmm.
Just change the position of this particle, which is quite common in English.
And both are correct, or the
Both are
second one
correct,
is
yes.
okay.
Actually, the second one is more common, but the first one is perfectly right. It's just that it's less common. This is less common. The second one with the particle to at the end is more usual, more common, but they are both correct. Um, for example, ¿a qué te estás refiriendo? How do you say that?
Mm, ¿A quién te
¿A
estás
qué?
refiriendo?
¿A qué te estás
¿A
refiriendo?
qué?
Yes.
Um, what are you referring? I don't know.
Yes, just you're missing just one particle. The sentence is perfect. And here you need one word.
What are you referring to?
Perfect. Yes, excellent. What are you referring to? Very good, Mickey. Excellent. And the normal way to do it, not the normal, the other way to do it is
Mm-hmm.
with the particle. To what are you referring? Which
To what are
sounds,
you referring?
yeah, it's not so. This is more precise, the same as this, right? Whom are you talking? Whom are you taking those flowers to,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with the particle to at the end,
Okay.
to to whom, to which, to whom, to which, etc. Right? So, well, that will come with practice. But all right, let's do number 9, Mickey, please.
Mm-hmm. Select the sentence with the appropriate modal verb. She might come to the party if she's free. She may come to the party if she will free. She can come to the party if she will free. She could come. She could come to the party if she's free. Mm,
You can also start discarding. You can also say, well, B is absolutely wrong, or C is absolutely wrong, or whatever. You can also start discarding. I mark them out, and then we just leave the rest of the options. For example, are you sure? Which of these ones are you sure is wrong?
um, probably the letter C.
Letter C is absolutely wrong because the caption, if she will be free, is wrong, right? If she will be is
Mm-hmm.
wrong. So that makes B also wrong, correct?
B also.
So we just have A or D. But here we need to see some consistency. And for example, we notice that she could, if she is, makes
Mm-hmm.
no consistency, right?
Yeah.
So that would
She might.
discard. She
She
might.
might come to the party if she's free.
Perfect. Yeah. That has a potential case for the future. She might. And so let's talk a little bit about the future. What might happen if something eventually takes place? For example, um, there might be war between Russia and China if they one day become enemies, which is highly unlikely. Okay, can you read this sentence, Mickey, please?
Yeah. There might be war between Russia and China if they one day become enemies. which is highly unlikely.
So here might be, you can say might be, which is equivalent to the might come right here,
Mm-hmm.
and which is equivalent to the she is here on the right, which is also in blue. If she is, where would the
Mm,
equivalent be the sentence?
which is
Uh, to the
uh,
party if, after the if,
if they won,
they
if they.
when they become, right? Is the verb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do a similar sentence. Maybe let's start with a short sentence and then we make a longer one. She might, I
Um,
might, there might be.
uh, he might be tired. Uh,
He does
if
what?
he,
He cleans the house.
yeah, if he cleans the house.
Okay, very good. Now, what would you might do? What might you do? I might, for example, let's suppose, did you go to the gym today in the morning or not yet?
Not yet, teacher. No,
Okay,
not yet.
so
After the
I,
class.
I might go to the gym. If under what circumstance would you go to the gym?
mm, I may go to the gym if, if I
If
wake up
it's
early, could.
if what?
If I wake up earlier.
Early, perfect, very good. Uh, under what circumstance you might not go to a party? I might not go to the party if what happens? You may not go, you might not go. Probably you will not go to the party, you might not go if what?
I might not go to the party if um uh if the direction is so far of my home, could be
Is too far
too far
from
from my home.
home. From okay, from home. Very good, excellent. Good job. Excellent, Mickey. Thank you. And I might not go. Now let's do I might with a negative. I might Um, I might, I might what? Join the gym in Leon if, for example, the price, or if the price is not too high. That's in my case, right? I might join the gym in Leon. What is a good price for a gym, Mickey?
Probably between 400 to 600 per month.
For that's a
I,
range, exactly right.
yeah.
Okay, that's reasonable, right? What would you do if something does not happen? I might, whatever, if something does not happen.
I made what, teacher? Sorry.
Yeah, you may what? What would you do? You might, provided that, or if, what would you do?
Okay. Mm, uh, I might spend I might spend. Mm, or probably it is. I don't know if it's correct to say I might not spend.
I might not spend, all right, might not. Yes, it's correct. I might not
Spend a good amount of money if it's not how do you say an important date. I don't know.
important date. I would not spend a good amount of money if it is not an important date. Okay, that's excellent. And it's also great advice for young people, for young and adult people, I would
Yeah,
say.
it's a good advice.
It's a great advice. Actually, we tend to overspend, but sometimes we need to choose appropriate date, right?
Yeah, it is necessary.
Very good, Mickey. Okay, well, how do you like the test? What do you think? Is it easy? It is difficult? How do you feel the test was?
Yeah, well, I don't consider that it is difficult. Probably I just needed to take more attention to the question because, yeah, in occasions I noticed that I choose a correct sentence, but grammarly speaking, but it wasn't the answer to the question that they were asking for. So
Okay,
uh, probably I just need to pay more attention and, yeah, try to don't hesitate to answer to.
yeah. Try not to
Not to
hesitate.
hesitate. Yeah.
Try not to. Yeah, very good. Okay, let's do number 10 then, Mickey, please. This is the
Hmm.
last one.
Choose the correct phrasal verb. He needs to call off the meeting to a family emergency. He needs to call off the meeting due to a family emergency. He needs to call for the meeting due to a family emergency. He needs to call in the meeting due to a family emergency. He needs to call off.
Call off, perfect. You call off, cancel, right?
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes we need to cancel some things. For example, I when do you what are the things that you can call off? Well, you can call off meetings, you can call off reunions, you can
Mm-hmm.
call off everything. I what let's see, I try not to. What do you try not to do? For example, I try not to drink too much coffee in the afternoon because then I cannot sleep.
Sleep.
Let me take a call really quick, Mickey, please. Can I?
Yes, teacher, don't worry.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mickey.
Yes, teacher, no
I'm
problem.
sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. So, yeah, I was asking you. I try not to drink too much coffee in the afternoon because then I cannot sleep. What do you try not to do? I try not to what?
Um, I try not to uh, use the cell phone all the time
Well, yeah, that's a good advice. All the time, because
because it is necessary to use then after
no, no, because
because it affects my concentration. Could be.
concentration. Yeah, that's a great example. You also can say, I intend not to, not to what? I intend not to, for example, I intend not to be physically idle too much time because I could uh, get flabby muscles. Okay, that's. I try
Hmm.
not to be physically idle. Idle is disoccupied or with no action, right? Idle is the
Yeah,
opposite of busy.
flabby muscles.
Yeah, the opposite of strong. They would be like flabby.
Hmm.
So I intend not to what, Mickey? What would you intend?
Mm, I intend not to. Mm, mm, I intend not to. Uh, Probably I intend not to watch the TV when I'm studying.
And that's a great advice. Yeah, that's a great idea. I intend, I try, I attempt
Attempt.
to, I intend, I want I want to, they go together. I want to. Okay, well, this is just an idea, right? Of when you use, I try not to, and then the verb, which
Hmm.
is something that you are doing better every time. It's getting better. Okay, I try not to this, not to that. In people, in general, what should people try not to do? So people should try not to what? What should people try not to do, and why? You think, Mickey?
Mm, People should try not to eat junky food. Could be
Not to eat junk food.
junk
Why?
food. Because it affects their health.
Their help. Very good. Government should try or should attempt not to what?
Government should attempt not to. Um, mm, Government should attempt not to. Uh, what could be?
Not to break the law
Yeah, could be.
themselves. Yeah, I mean they should attempt not to break the law themselves. Sometimes they break it. If
Hmm.
they did, I mean, if they broke the law, right? If they broke the law, then what would happen?
Then it would
Oh,
be uh, a complete disaster, could be
complete disaster. Perfect. Or chaos, which is
chaos.
exactly right. Very good. Excellent. Excellent work, Mickey. If they broke the law, it would be a complete disaster. Look how we're creating a, well, it's not that something new for you, but governments should attempt not to break the law themselves. If they did, then it would be a complete disaster. Uh, as an example, just last week, let's invent something which is not true, but just for the matter of, for the sake of composing a text.
Mhm. We're talking of the government or
Yeah,
other
yeah,
things.
yeah. Talking about the government. Yeah.
As an example, just last week, uh, it was filter a video.
A video was filtered
A video was filtered
in which
in which uh, the the president's brother
president's brother
was receiving a good amount of cash.
cash due to what?
Mm, due to I don't know.
To due to a secret contract in which what was happening with this contract?
uh, in which the contract was originally absolved.
Originally what?
How do you say absolved or
Uh,
like
invalidated,
yeah, yeah, it's okay.
waived, originally waived, that, or void, you can say void also, void,
Wait.
or cancelled, you can say cancelled, or you can
Okay.
say invalidated. Okay, excellent. So um, okay, so we have three sentences in which we're using should attempt not to, which is one thing. If they did, which is a second conditional, it would, and then an explanation, right? As an example.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots and lots of examples. This is not the only structure. There are almost thousands of structures, but this is just a simple case in which we're doing three paragraphs. I mean, three sentences to make a paragraph, right? Now, let's say a similar structure, customers should uh, intend not to buy. What shouldn't they buy, Mickey? Customers should intend not to buy what?
Customers who intend not to buy expensive brands, could be.
Brands. Okay. Now, if they did, what would happen?
If they did, uh, then it will they it would
They would
uh, spent almost their month salary,
Their whole salary
their whole salary.
for no reason. For no reason.
Hmm.
As an example, or you can see um, just recently, uh, Pepe did something. What did Pepe do?
Just recently, Pepe uh, bought.
Let me put a parenthesis. Pepe,
Mhm.
who is a plumber making, let's say, 800 per week, which is very low. What did he do? He bought. What did he buy?
Bought a Balenciaga T-shirt that cost more than 10,000 pesos. Hmm.
So he is sold for the next what 100 weeks. Gosh,
Yeah.
the next 1,000, 10,000, 10, 12. I was like 12 weeks, right? Or what? 12
Mm,
weeks. If it was
yeah,
10, would be, yeah,
probably. Yeah, 12 weeks more or less.
12 weeks. Wow. Okay, there you go. So there is a situation like this. Should not intend to buy expensive brands. If they, okay, let's say there is a situation in which makes this more specific. If
If they
they
cannot afford it?
can, exactly, very good, afford them. So let's read the whole paragraph, Mickey, please. Can you?
Yeah. Customers should intend not to buy expensive brands if they cannot afford them. If they did, they would spend almost their whole salary for no reason. Just recently, Pepe, who is a plumber making 800 per week, bought a Balenciaga t-shirt that cost more than 10,000 pesos. So he sold for the next 12 weeks.
Wow. We can make a soap opera with this information.
Actually, yeah.
We can say that was the dream of his life to buy one of the Valenciana t-shirts, but now he sold for 12 weeks.
That's
The
so funny, but
downside, yeah,
for example, uh, now I'm in a how you say an inter. Well, it's about the finance intelligence. I'm in a course of that.
oh really? Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
and those are live sessions, and I have listened to the how you say like testimonies,
Testimonials, yes.
testimonials of other people, and I have listened things that I imagine. Well, that I was thinking how it is possible that people just do that, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't know the basics of money and they spend it like if the money is forever, right? And yeah, that's why I said this case because one person who he wasn't a plumber. I think that he was working like electrician, something like that.
Okay.
But probably I will imagine that the income that they receive is similar between him and a plumber. And yeah, he bought a I think that some sneakers in Palacio del Hierro, something like that, that cost more than 20,000 pesos. And it's like, why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Right. Uh, well, let's make it a little bit more dramatic now. His 7 kids will have
Mhm.
to be on rice and beans for some 20 weeks. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, this looks like a soap opera, but it's not so far from reality as you mentioned.
yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this is a good structure to write whole things, right? Let's if we can make a short variation, that's okay, right? But let's begin with something we shouldn't do or people shouldn't do. Somebody shouldn't do something. Let's say somebody mustn't do something. What is that? People should avoid doing. Let's
Mm,
do this one. What should people avoid doing or mustn't do?
uh, people mustn't spend their lives mm, looking other people. Probably could be
Looking what?
other people or other lives.
Looking at or looking for? Because looking for is buscando and looking at is like observing.
Looking at
Looking at other.
other people lives.
Yes. Okay. Very, very good. If why is the reason? Let's say since or because or provided or if they did, it would make no use. It would be a waste of time. If
It
they
will be
did,
a waste of time. It will
would
be a
be
waste of time.
waste of time and maybe an invasion of the privacy of other people.
Yeah, but uh, mainly what I try to say with this sentence is that, for example, I have seen people who's looking always TikTok and what other people does, influencers, and normally they're just doing stupid things, and people is just looking at them. Obviously, the people who's doing that earns a good amount of money, but the rest of the people is just looking content just to, I don't know, probably just to don't get bored. But it is,
Not not to get bored.
yeah, not to get bored. I don't know. For me, it's stupid.
Okay, let's write that sentence. It is silly or stupid
Hmm.
because people do it simply or just not to get bored.
Bored.
Okay,
Yeah.
not to get bored. That's a great sentence, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, it's very common that people do this, and I see this in my students, in well, many people really. It's silly because people just do it not to get bored. Okay, people, which people? The people who is looking at other people's lives or the lives that people are looking at? Who do this?
Mm,
The people who look at other people's lives?
yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. It's silly because people just do it. People do it just not to get bored. Not to get bored. Yeah, well, this is a great sentence. People do many things not to get something. For example, um, not to, for instance, it's very sad, but people say that some wives resist mistreatment just not to get um, abandoned, and that's very sad. But I mean, this happens, right?
Yeah.
The sentence is very sad, but I just want to use the word just not to get, not to be. For example, um, I've seen this in young people. Some people uh, say, some people, some young people, gosh, some young people like to curse, which is to say bad words,
Hmm.
just not to feel that they do not belong to the group. All right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm serious. Yes, not to feel that they are not part of the group. So I want to show my friends that I am part of the group. So I start cursing and saying bad words and vulgar words and this and that. I think
Or making fun of other people.
making fun of other people. Well, that's a good one. Some people make fun of others or of other people just not to what?
Hmm. Some people make fun of other people just not to. Hmm. Or instead of just not to, without not, could be just to get attention of others, could be.
Attention of others. Exactly, exactly. Yeah. What do people do? Uh, okay, for example, uh, newborn babies cry quite a bit, just not to be ignored
No.
by their moms.
Yeah, yeah,
Not to, not to be ignored, not to be forgotten, not to be whatever, right? So
yeah,
let's
that's
say
true.
not to be left alone. What do people do not to be left alone? Let's say that there are some people who are very independent and they can be by themselves with
Mhm.
absolutely no problem, right? There are many people like that. But let's say that there are one or two or a few people who do this not to be left alone or not to be left aside in a group, let's say in a company group discussion, company or corporation group discussion. You don't want to be left aside. You want to be a participant, an active member. So what do you do not to be left aside?
Probably people. Mm, People don't say what they're thinking or feeling. Just, uh, just to not to be left aside in a corporation group discussion, could be.
Just not to be left aside. Yeah, well, yeah, that can happen too. People don't say, well, look, there is another version of this sentence which is very good. Can you read it, Mickey, please?
Yeah. People don't say what they're thinking or feeling. Just not to feel, just not to be left aside in a corporation group discussion.
Okay, very good. I'm going to say this. Some young people, some young people don't say what they are thinking or feeling just to not to be considered too rude or too blunt. Too blunt is like too direct.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I agree or not with that, but let's just to make the sentence grammatically speaking, okay?
Yeah.
What do you think of this, Mickey? What's your opinion?
The sentence.
Yeah, of the concept itself, philosophically speaking, not grammatically. Well, grammatically is correct, right?
Mhm.
But philosophically, what do you think?
Uh, yeah, I think that it's true. Finally, I think that how can I say it? Mainly in men, I think that in occasions we need to be so careful with our thoughts of what we want to express because now all people feel like you are attacking them. So you need to be uh, more cautious or more how do you say more
Cautious, yes.
yeah more cautious of what you're expressing because people can take it in a bad way.
Take it in a personal way, right?
Yeah, in a personal
Or they
way.
take it personal.
Yeah, I noticed that in the in the master's degree because, well,
Really?
yeah, mainly in the group are women.
Oh,
Probably if there are 30 people in all the group, probably just between 6 to 8 are men. So we need to be so careful with the with the things that we say because uh, the majority of them of the girls are moms. So you cannot say probably a joke or you cannot do a comment like that because they can feel like attacked or something like. And it is difficult, and that's why I try to be the most the the better. Who can say it? I try to be more conscious of what I want to say, and try not to um, make the others feel bad or something. But yeah, it is
yeah.
it is hard. I don't
How?
know why.
Well, people are people are emotional. Women are probably more emotional than men. Do you agree with that? Do you concur?
Yeah, of course.
Um, and then people suggest that you should trigger emotions in other people. I don't know if
Mhm.
that is true or not. What do you think? We should try to trigger emotions in others. And it doesn't have to be necessarily good emotions. It can be, for example, anger. You say, how can I trigger anger in somebody else? Well, yeah, the neighbor is beating up his dog every day. Well, when I say this, I'm trying to trigger or instill anger in you or in my friend or in my brother.
Yeah.
So my brother will become angry, but that's okay because that will probably stop the beating of the poor dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I am instilling anger. But let's say that you instill, let's try to instill fear in a person, Mickey. Say something. Oh, I'm sorry. Tell me a situation in which you would instill anger, not anger, fear in a person because you're trying to protect him.
Mm,
Fear. You want me
fear.
to be cautious, to be careful
Mhm.
because there is a potential danger, right? So you make me afraid of a potential danger.
I'm instilling fear in my little cousin. Could-
Okay, in my little cousin. Okay, what do you tell him or why? What is the situation that you would tell him to be cautious or that you would instill fear?
Mm, the situation was that he wanna touch uh how to say oven, the
A oven, a hot
oh,
oven.
a hot oven. Yeah.
So, what would you tell your cousin to be afraid of that? Be careful with the oven. It is extremely hot and it can burn your hand.
Yeah.
So you warn him, right? You give him a warning.
Hmm.
Be careful with the oven. Why? It's extremely hot. What is the consequence of that? It can burn your hand.
Burn your hand.
So you're instilling fear. So I think the slogan that you should try to instill only positive emotions. Well, maybe fear can be positive if it saves his life or if he protects him. Anger can also lead you to protect somebody, right? If one day they robbed my grandpa in the street, the five brothers jumped like five lions to the street and started to chase the guys that had pushed my grandpa. Uh, I mean, all the emotions are valid. What do you think about this concept? All the emotions are valid. What do you think of this phrase, Mickey?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that it is necessary to feel all the emotions because In a way, all the emotions wants to say us something. For example, fear. Well, the fear could protect us from uh, danger or a warning. I think so.
Yeah.
And for example, if we are sad, well, I think that we can um, take more value to happiness. Could be. So I think that is
Sadness
necessary.
allows us to give more value to our happy moments. That's a fantastic phrase.
Yeah, I think so.
I like it very much. Sadness allows us to give more value or to attach more value to our happy moments. Yeah, wow, that's a fantastic phrase. Yeah, so all the emotions are valid, right, Mickey?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Oh, you know what? We ran out of time. It's incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I had the zoom on the cell phone and I couldn't see the clock. But yeah,
No, don't worry. I wanted to ask you, sadness allows us to attach more value to our happy moments. How many emotions do we normally have besides happiness, joy or happiness? We have anger, we have
sadness,
fear,
fear.
sadness, we
Mm,
have disdain. Disdain. When somebody has bad manners, we look at him over the shoulder like, what is that, right? When somebody
yeah.
has vulgar expressions, we look at him over the shoulder and say, how can this be?
Mm-hmm.
Joy, anger, fear, sadness, disdain. And there are like seven basic emotions. Seven or the basic emotions. Let me look up. Which are the basic emotions
Surprise.
men have? Surprise, yeah. Sur surprise, which allows you to react quickly to a potential danger or a good moment too, right?
Yeah. And
Fear,
love. I think that is the last one.
love. All right, love, which is a very complete feeling, right? Anger, fear, sadness, disdain, surprise, love, maybe disgust. Disgust is different from fear. Disgust, something that you don't like. Okay, these are like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight.
Yeah.
Contempt. Contempt is disdain. They also put it contempt. Contempt. Uh,
Content.
yeah. It is a sense of superiority. Um, that, for example, you are an educated, polite person. You are very clean, and you don't like to. You want to keep the streets clean, and then some guy just throws a piece of paper to the street. You look at him, you say, well, how can this be, right? You disdain that
Yeah.
attitude, not maybe not the person, but the act, the attitude.
Okay.
So you look like the person has bad manners, or you notice that they, or you notice that a person, for example, is playing with TikTok all day long and he's wasting his life or her life
Mm-hmm.
or their lives. You say, how can that be? You could be studying, you could be working, you could be doing this, and they are doing something below their potential. So you look at them with disdain, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I look at them with certain disdain. They could be studying. What else? Working,
Training.
training,
Mm, reading. I don't know. There are so many things to
reading, writing, drawing,
learning
painting,
something new, if you want.
learning something new. Perfect. Those are great examples. So you feel certain disdain, or I feel certain disdain, or I look at them with disdain.
Yeah.
That's also a feeling and is valid. Okay. Okay, Mickey. Well, let's continue when next Monday. You think's okay?
Yes, sure. Next Monday is okay. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you. Take care, Mickey. You're doing very well in the tests, grammar tests. So
Thank you,
that's a
teacher.
good
Yeah.
sign. That's a good sign.
I need to practice a little bit more, but yes, teacher. Thank you very much.
Maybe next Monday you can make a little summary of one of the late books that you've been reading or that you have read. Maybe, let's say that you just read this or that book. Maybe we devote 5 or 10 minutes to your description of the book. Maybe. What do you think?
Okay, teacher. Yeah, like a presentation or how?
Yeah, like a small presentation. If you can do it at first sight or by memory, it would be great. If you want to make a short presentation that doesn't take you too long, or maybe the bullets, the main things, is also great. Something very basic that doesn't take too much time from you.
Okay, teacher. Yeah, yeah, it's perfect.
All
More or
right.
less now
Well,
I have an idea of what can I do. Yeah.
all right. Thank you, Mickey. Take care. See you on Monday then.
Yeah, teacher. See you Monday. Thank you very much for your time and